is time for another episode of the Cultural Hall. It is an Articles of News episode, music on my brain, as I was excited to be able to visit with the news wizard himself, Verlin. What got stuck in my brain was Verlin. Oh my gosh, it's Verlin. Keep them doggies. Exactly. To which then we launched into a whole lot of singing before we could get the microphones to work, etc.
We did. Thank goodness.
You were telling me, though, of your life of church crime, your escape from church attendance. And I think this is fascinating because you said you remember the first concert that you went to. You ducked out of church early. I need you to set the stage for me. Where were you? How old were you? What was the show? And then I want to tell you, I can vividly remember the first time I ducked out of church and what I went and did. And I'll tell you about that.
Okay. So 14 years old, I was a teacher.
Okay.
And we had a habit. The teacher's quorum was asked to be the ushers.
Okay.
And so the sacrament was over. I was sitting in the back, ushering, and we were allowed to sit outside of the door.
Oh, that was the first
mistake. With a chair.
First mistake.
And I ducked out at the ripe age of 14, and a friend picked me up in front of the building, and we drove from the East Bay of the San Francisco Bay Area over to the Cow Palace, which was the big concert venue, and got to see Cheap Trick in concert.
Wow.
I can't remember who opened for them. For some reason in my head, I'm thinking it was the Cars that opened.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. 14 would have been what year? I know you hate that kind of stuff.
1978.
Okay. I'm going to try and find out who it was that opened for Cheap Trick at the Cow Palace.
No.
Let's see. Barbara.
Now, I could be getting the age wrong, too, as I'm often accused of citing facts confidently, despite really not knowing what I'm talking about. So
you're like, actually, it was 87. Oh, well, okay. This would be interesting if this was the case. If it was the 1977 show, Cheap Trick opened for Kiss at the Cow Palace.
That was it. That's okay. Right. So I'm a year off.
Yep. Otherwise, Journey opened for Cheap Trick in 78.
What year?
In 78. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I've seen all three of those bands, and they were three of my earliest concert experiences.
Yeah. Well, shame on you is what I hope.
I remember. Cheap Trick was awesome. Kiss was thoroughly entertaining, and yes, I'm a schmuck. I still can sing almost every Journey song.
Sure. So. Well, we knew that, but thank you for the
pre-Steve Perry departing.
The thing about a Kiss show, though, so exhausting. So exhausting.
But I want to rock and roll all night.
Well, yeah, and then party every day. It's just exhausting. I don't understand the stamina. I just, it's just too much.
Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now.
So
Beth was one of the young ladies that went with us to that concert too.
No. Yeah. Did you bring her only because she was named Beth?
No, there were like 8 of us that went.
Okay.
So, no, Beth was just a friend.
I was 12 when I first skipped out on church.
Ooh.
My friend Corey, he and I. So Corey,
not the Pharaoh.
No.
Okay.
No. In fact, I think the Pharaoh probably at this time, me being 12, would have just been a twinkle in his mother Cleopatra's eyes. But my friend Corey, who was the ringer for Ward Church Ball, he was a good basketball player, but wanted nothing to do with the church, but liked playing basketball. We would have him come with us. He, I guess, called me. I don't know how, or maybe we planned this, but he said, "Hey," sort of in a triangle formation from his house to my house to where this particular 7-Eleven was.
Oh.
He said, "Hey, either I'll walk and come meet you, or we can just meet down there." I don't remember that part of it, but at the 7-Eleven, they had the old arcade game. At this time, though, it was the new arcade game. Right
Which
there
one?
by the door, the WWF, back when it used to be called the WWF. with like Jake the Snake Roberts, and it's the
Hmm.
joystick and the two keys that you can do. And we probably, oh, I don't know, we probably spent $25 while I should have been in church and snuck away and went to that. And I was able to get away with it because at that time my parents were separated slash kind of getting divorced, and everything at home was kind of a disaster. So you could slip under
Hmm.
the radar with anything that you wanted to do. But
Yeah.
I remember going, I should be going to church right now, but I'm walking down to the 7-Eleven to play WWF on the arcades. And yeah, that's my
I
first
think
time.
my story. I mean, I had four younger siblings, so my parents were worrying about them, and I think that point, my dad was probably stake young men's president, so he was off at another ward somewhere.
Sure,
My mom was
sure.
trying to handle it alone. She was in the Relief Society presidency, and I think my story was we had three wards in that area, and I had friends in all of the other wards. And I think my story was that I was going directly from church to somebody's house
Um,
to spend the rest of the afternoon.
yeah,
And we didn't have cell phones and tracking and all that kind of
sure.
stuff. And so,
Yeah,
you know, who knew that a little kid would go off in his Sunday clothes to go to a concert?
yeah, yeah. Well,
So
I would,
no changing either. So
yeah. You look like a little missionary
exactly. I had a white shirt. I know I had a dark tie on and some kind of nice pants.
yeah, but in that year, right? You could have just been a little fashion forward, right? You could have been
I
most.
could have been. I could have been, late from coming home from the disco at
Yeah,
14 years old, right? Or
yeah,
13.
and most of those early punk bands sort of dressed like that, and you start to have
They
the influence
did.
of ska. So yeah, you
Yeah, you're
never made
right.
me think a single thing of it, Elder.
Yeah, and actually, if I remember correctly, didn't the lead singer always dress in a white shirt for? I think they did
Of
for Cheap
Chip,
Trick,
oh,
of
Cheap
Cheap
Trick.
Trick.
No, I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a little out of me. I mean, I know the hits from Cheap Trick, but anything else from Cheap Trick, you're asking the wrong guy. You're asking the wrong guy.
It's
Uh,
worth a listen.
it's been a minute since we've chatted. How are you? What's
It
new?
has.
What's exciting?
It's been exactly 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't talked since the live taping at the Taylorsville Leatherbees. Thank you again, Leatherbees.
Yeah.
It's been a circus. I was in Utah for a few days, hanging with family. Then I spent the last almost week in New York City for an industry conference that I've
New
been to
York
30
City.
times now.
Get a
New
room.
York City, uh, and walked an average of 5 miles every day,
Oof.
and I don't know how many meetings, purely fueled on adrenaline and caffeine for
Yeah.
a week.
What's your
And my
caffeine?
luggage broke on the way, so I had to get a new suitcase while I was there. So three different trips to Macy's to make that happen.
Oh,
It was
geez.
it was fun.
What is your caffeine of choice?
Usually Diet Dr Pepper or Diet
Okay.
Coke.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the lightweight stuff.
Well, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I mean,
All
that there.
depends on how much you drink of it, right?
Well,
So
how
it's
much are we
not. I
talking
don't. We're probably talking about 3 or 4 cans a
about? Oh,
day,
come on.
something like that.
Listen, do one can and supercharge it. Let's get 200, 300 milligrams of caffeine in one can. Let's go.
Well, one of the customers I was there supporting, the booth next to theirs had a water dispenser, and you could do, I don't know, 100 different flavors and combinations of waters,
Mhm.
including push the button for additional caffeine in your
Oh,
water.
that's dangerous. That's dangerous. You're just like someone near end of life pushing that morphine drip. You're just like caffeine, caffeine, caffeine. I don't feel it. I don't feel it.
What I did learn is caffeine straight in water does not taste
Oh,
very good.
yeah, gosh, no.
But
What?
now I know that's the reason that I like Diet Coke and Diet Dr Pepper is because of the caffeine aftertaste in it.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I
Yep.
didn't realize so much of the taste as far as that goes. But a good
Yeah.
conference. Have you conferred
It was
appropriately?
successful. Yeah. I have, and I spent all day yesterday taking the slow road home. I took the train home from New York City, so 10 hours on the train, and got all the work done I needed to get done, and got no naps in along the way.
Yeah. Is it a beautiful trip via the rail from New York City to North Carolina?
Not really,
Okay.
not really. That's why it's get the work done kind of trip. I was sitting in a window seat, had an empty seat next to me, so it was comfortable,
Yeah.
and had plenty of snacks and beverages, and just worked the entire way home.
Until there was a murder on the train, and then all the
That's right.
passengers had to figure out who it was that murdered it, and it's never the one that you think it is.
And Inspector Poirot showed up. Yes.
Yes. What a great movie. And the newest one, if you have not seen it,
I have not.
you've not seen the Knives Out, the
No, I
newest
have
one?
not.
Oh my
No.
gosh. So good, and there's religious context to it. And it's so
Is there?
great.
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
oh,
it's so
good.
great. It's not
Ah,
LDS religious context, but it is
yeah, but religious
yeah.
context.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's great. It's
cool.
a thinker as far as that
Very
goes.
good.
And so good.
Speaking of religious context in this conference I went to, so I've been going for 30 years. For the
Hmm.
last 15 years, there's a group of us believers of all different denominations
Okay.
that have been getting together for breakfast every Tuesday morning at this conference at the unworthy hour of 6:30 after everyone's been out till
Boof.
1, 2 in the morning with customer dinners and receptions. And it's a wonderful opportunity. We get 15 to 20 people there. We have a little devotional that kind of sets the theme for the conversation, and then we talk about that theme
Get
for an
out.
hour. And it is the coolest chance to kind of reconnect with people, learn what's going on in their lives, but really reaffirm each other's belief in Jesus Christ and how he operates in our lives. It's really phenomenal.
Wait, so if I'm understanding you correctly, people with not all the same beliefs are able to sit down and have a conversation that is productive? Is that what you're saying?
I am suggesting that is the case.
I don't believe
Sitting
it.
in a New York diner, having our omelet of choice,
Mm,
whatever the choice may be.
I'm a Benedict guy, but I understand. I understand
They
what you
had Benedict too. I had a pastrami omelet, which was thoroughly underwhelming.
It sounds like it would be good, right? Yeah, of course. I
I
love
was looking
pastrami.
for it. Yeah, no, no,
No,
they could have done a lot better.
ugh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about
That's
that.
too bad. No,
Uh,
worth the experiment.
I want you to know that I became an athletic supporter for a brief moment because of you.
Did you?
Yeah,
Which athletics were you supporting?
I watched the BYU basketball because everyone's like, oh yeah, we're paying millions for them. You might as well watch. And I was underwhelmed with the performance that I saw. They won as we record
Last
this.
night's performance,
Yeah,
right?
when they beat
Okay.
TCU, and I even watched the Kevin Young. You guys stayed in there and you grinded, and it was and you hung in there. But I was looking for like alley oops and basically like an all-star game. It's not what I saw.
No,
No.
no. Well, TCU is a dangerous team. They have some incredible talent, and they can be very dangerous. And they brought their A game,
Yeah.
Provo.
Yeah.
I'll admit that I fell asleep around halftime. In fact, at some point, Susan's kind of put her arm over and smacked me and said, "The TV's still on," and so I turned it off. And I must have been snoring,
Mm, mm.
but yeah,
But our BYU Cougars won. The Tar Heels, who are ranked, I didn't realize. I know they're
they
used
were
to be,
14.
yeah, but then
They're no longer going to be 14. Yeah,
yeah.
they lost to Stanford, another dangerous team, but a thoroughly underwhelming performance. And I swear it looked like they were asleep the last quarter. So
Well, if they get the BYU touch, they'll probably be ranked ninth, and BYU will fall to 16 uh, as it
that's
goes in
right.
the rankings. I'll tell you what, though, everyone we're so victimy about the sports thing. Oh, they hate BYU. It's because we're religious. Maybe I don't think so. I think we're
No,
all
there was logic in their fall from ninth to 11th, even though
yeah,
they had won their last game.
yeah.
It was because a couple of other teams are playing out of their minds. And so the numbers showed that they were above, and the people ranked them likewise.
Well, and even though they got the dub, because that's what I've heard you say. You say you get the dub.
They got the dub. You've heard
Again,
me say that?
no, the
Okay.
collective they.
Okay. They have said that.
Yeah, that they got the win over rival University of Utah. They didn't look
Yeah.
good. They didn't look that
Yeah,
great there either.
it was the eye test. They barely won. No one understands that rivalry.
Yeah,
Honestly, no one outside of Utah has any sense of that rivalry.
yeah, yep. Well, that's fun to be a sport guy for a second.
We should have
Any,
some sports guys on
well,
one day.
listen, we're going to revive the Saints Who Sport. Vicky
Well, I was
said
thinking
she's
we should
going
have
to do it.
we should have Hans Olsen on and talk about BYU and Utah sports, or we should have
Oh, like we
Spencer
haven't already had.
Jerem.
Like we already haven't had Hans on the Cultural Hall? Are you kidding? You know that he was on here. looking up what
Yes,
episode he was, it was, 15 years
it
ago,
was a long
likely.
time ago. Yeah,
It was
it wasn't
so
in the
old that
modern era.
it doesn't pull up it doesn't even pull up
Was
in a
he?
Google
So he
search. That's
must
how
have
long
been.
ago it was.
He was DK versus AK.
Yeah, yeah. It was its first 100 episodes for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Brandon over at LDS Bookstore. This is not a sponsored thing or anything like that, but he helped me out with some Google ads, and he's the best.
Oh,
I
nice.
trust it. So the moral of this, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you know how sometimes you think I'm going to save a little money, and I don't know if this guy knows what he's doing, but I'll hire this guy, and then you do it, and
Yeah,
you're like, I don't think this is, and then you realize that you should have asked Brandon at LDS Bookstore. That's what happened. I use ads to get leads for my DJ business, and they had all
right.
but died. And then I reached out to Brandon, and he was like, "Yeah, listen, I got you."
Fired it back up.
Fired it back up, and in the last 2 days, it's been, to say night and day different would
Well, and
not
I'm
be
sure
accurate.
Brandon knows this, but it's no longer all about the Google searches. It's now all about the AI
Yep,
searches. So you
yep,
have to retune your ads so that AI picks them up.
yes, and he did, and it's awesome, and I love him. So,
Nice. Very good.
go buy books and things from LDS Bookstore. Uh, Let us take a break. When we come back, we have got articles of news. We let the AI, speaking of, give us the order of the articles of news this week. So we will take a break and we will come back and do that in the second half of articles of news.
Faith shows up in the small, everyday places. At Latter Day 3D Studio, we create detailed magnets from your favorite temple or powerful imagery of Christ emerging from the tomb. We also have modern ties designed to be worn to church or in the temple. Right now, listeners can take 15% off with code Cultural Hall as a thank you for supporting LDS creators. These pieces make meaningful gifts for baptisms, ordinations, or simple reminders of covenants at home, work, or worship. Visit LatterdAy3dStudio.com and use code Cultural Hall again at checkout for an extra 15% off. Latter Day 3D Studio. Faith made tangible.
You know, the turning of another year makes me start to think about how I have not done one of these ads for Best DJ in Utah in over a year. I'm sorry, everyone, but it means business is good. It means you should hire Best DJ in Utah. Why, that's me, and I even have people that work for me, trained by me, affordable, and travel all over. Literally all over. Going to Florida this year, for instance. And this year means 2026, not this year, which could have been several years in the past, like we've been doing. You can go to bestdjinutah.com, or you can go and find us on our Google business page. It's Best DJ in Utah. You will see that as of the recording of this, almost 700 5-star reviews. Find out what so many listeners of the Cultural Hall have already found out. I'm great at parties. I'm great in your ear holes, but I'm also great at parties. So find out if I'm available for your date. We can help you out. Weddings, baptisms, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, funerals. I'll do a funeral. BestDJinUtah.com. Here in the second half of Articles of News, we continue with our Articles of News. I would love it, Peter, if you would please hit it.
You can't lose articles of news.
And away we go. So, the AI thinks we should do the breaking news, tragedy, and legal issues first. Do you want to do odds or evens with our stories today?
I'm good either way.
Now, you
You do odds, I'll do evens.
Okay, that means I start. First story, we talked about this in the past. There was a young women's boating trip that occurred. And as this boating accident occurred, one of the young boys, the rope got kind of caught around his leg, and it had to be removed, amputated, right?
Yeah.
This lawsuit was filed in November of 25. They haven't identified these because the age of the people are 12 and 14. The juveniles were participating in an activity on a boat owned by their ward's young women leader. While on the boat, the 12-year-old was feeding out a rope to an inner tube when the young women's leader reportedly accelerated, and the rope wrapped around the boy's foot and left it severed below the ankle. The young women's leader reportedly turned the boat off but was unable to restart because the engine had flooded. The 12-year-old's brother, who was 14 at the time, also involved in the lawsuit. because he was like, "What the?" Called 911. Brother had to apply a tourniquet to the injured leg with the help of others. And even though all of that medical attention, they could not save the foot. So
The appendage.
why? So why is this back in the news? Well, the church has responded. That is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Said to say, well, it admitted that some of its youth activities involve water sports and that the driver of the boat is in charge of some youth activities. It denied that it breached any of its obligation or legal responsibilities. The church also admitted that the adults who organized the activity were leaders within the church. However, they denied that the young women's leader had increased the dangers of boating or that any injuries sustained were the result of acts, errors, or omissions by the church. Based on Wyoming's laws due care requirements, the church admitted it owed a duty of care to the minors, but denied allegations that it breached that duty. So, the injuries are the result of a rare and unforeseen accident that happened in the absence of negligence or lack of due care, says the church. So that's it. That's what the church has said back to it. Whether or not there will be some sort of settlement outside of that, probably not, it seems.
I would guess there will be, actually.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that becomes a dangerous thing, or like if they can kind of keep it hush, they probably will do something like that. But I can't imagine that the headline will be, boy who lost foot in Wyoming paid grand amounts of money by Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Otherwise, everyone's like, "Oh, hey, you did this. There's this thing going on." But you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be kept quiet. I think the church will certainly compensate for the medical care, or any medical care that wasn't covered by primary insurance, and perhaps something more. And it will be kept very quiet.
Okay. How come you think that?
I would
Just
assume
because?
so.
Good taste?
I think because I think the church is fair in a lot of cases like this, and they're not going to fight against an allegation, and they don't want their name dragged through the courts. So they'll find a way to settle. On a related note, have you ever owned or driven a boat for a youth activity?
No, and I won't.
I have many times.
Ugh, no thanks.
And in reading this article, the first time we chatted about it a while ago, I could absolutely see this thing happening and other things happening in one of those activities. It's a high risk thing, but lots of things are high risk. Backpacking with a bunch of young men is a high risk.
Sure.
Rappelling with a bunch of young women is a high risk.
Sure. It's why
stuff is going to happen.
It's why I will do none of it.
But we can't live our lives not doing any of it.
I can. Look, I'm doing it.
I think by definition, you're not doing it.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, look, I'm not doing it. I'm very much not doing it right now. That's a fair point.
Well, I'm personally glad that leaders were willing to take those risks with me and let me do and try stupid things. Yeah. And many things I chose to do, supposedly in their care of my own choice that put myself and others in danger. And thankfully, they let us deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But it's a tragedy. I feel terrible for the mother. I feel terrible for the young man injured. I feel terrible for his older brother who had to go through the trauma of dealing with this. And I hope that they have the support they need. But I also am a strong believer that these kinds of trials and experiences will make you stronger in other ways so that you can show up for other people down the road.
What I think is probably particularly hard is depending on like the initial response by those immediately around the 12 and 14-year-old boy, like those people may never be a part of the church again.
Perhaps.
I can't believe. And I can understand where they get to that point, right? But
any of us that have been on a boating incident or been on a sledding trip or been on, there's so many things that can go wrong in freak accidents.
Sure.
That's,
Yeah. All right. Take us to the next story.
Next story. This is another tragedy that we talked quickly about a couple of weeks ago. There was a missionary serving in New Mexico, in fact, in the mission where my daughter lives, the Albuquerque mission, who passed away in his sleep. And according to the documents, he passed away of some kind of unspecified medical condition. They have said they're going to do an autopsy to gain further information, but I still have not seen any real details about What was the cause? What happened? There's literally nothing known at this point as to why this young man, who I believe was from Salem, Utah,
Mm-hmm.
and had served most of his mission, in fact, was due to return home in May, passed away silently at night in his missionary apartment.
Yeah. I can't imagine that from a lot of ways, right? Your family, you sort of lovingly send your child
Oh,
off. That would be super hard.
yep.
Then I put myself in the position of the companion, where it's like, Elder Youd, hey, Elder Youd, like that would be,
Exactly.
as a 20-year-old, 19-year-old kid,
Mm.
15-year-old kid, I guess now, right? Could be.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
just be like, wait, like I don't know that when I was 18, I hadn't watched enough murder shows and those things to know what to do if there was someone. And I'm not purporting that, but like I didn't know I wouldn't know how to react to someone who has passed. I think I would freak out and just huddle myself in a corner. And what do you do? Like the trauma around that for everyone is just wild. Not to mention the tragedy of that individual's life ending.
Yeah. Yeah, the church did make an official statement. They said, "We extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and fellow missionaries. We pray they will find comfort and strength through their faith in the gospel of Jesus Christ and feel the Savior's love as they honor Elder Martin's life and devoted missionary service." Of course, that's small condolences compared to losing a young man, a friend, and family member like this.
Does anyone know, you can email us, contact@theculturalhall.com. I would be curious to know the answer to this. If when a missionary passes or is killed or anything like this, is there counseling services that are made available by the church to the missionaries that either served immediately around or to the mission? Like when there are these school shootings and things like that, there's a lot of like rush for those counseling services.
Right.
For folks. Does the church do that? Does anyone know? Are we doing that with the shooting in Salt Lake, Rose Park, which maybe we'll talk on here in a little bit? You know, was there something like that for that area? How does the church engage with that?
Yeah, what did they do for Grand Blanc?
Yeah.
What have they done for some of these others? Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to know for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that would be interesting. In my mission, I did not experience another missionary passing away. I did experience another missionary being shot,
Oh, geez.
but that's a whole different problem.
Yeah. Yeah, with that for us, they were like, don't do what this elder did. And it's like, he didn't ask to get shot. Yes, but you can do things that would be different. We had that for sure. Cars getting jacked, all sorts of stuff. All right. Well, I wish that AI would have picked a different order for this.
You think I chose odd for a reason, maybe?
Well,
Or I chose even?
I just mean that the start of this is such, sad and horrible and all these
It
things.
is. Well, let's get the sad and horrible done with.
The headline, Rexburg LDS churches boost security after reports of men entering buildings for sexual acts, reads the headline. So apparently what's happening is there are increased patrols at churches around the Rexburg, that's where BYU Idaho, and also Idaho Falls areas, according to East Idaho News. It is an ongoing issue regarding unidentified men entering church properties and engaging in lewd sexual acts. Quote, in some cases, individuals have recorded themselves committing these acts, sometimes involving more than one person and sometimes acting alone. We believe these unidentified individuals are entering meeting houses on weeknights while youth activities are taking place and are engaging in lewd acts inside of classrooms. This significantly increases the risk of youth or others being exposed to these situations. Now, according to this email that had been sent out among church leadership, there was someone that was arrested for this in 2025 for similar allegations, but that is not who has continued to perpetuate these things. It is someone else. They do not believe that it was the same one that was arrested last year, although it is similar and re-emerging behavior. As a precaution, temporary cameras have been installed at meeting houses in Rexburg to monitor individuals entering and leaving the building. Why are they only temporary? That would be my question. The The email also states that police have requested special access to certain buildings when they have a reasonable suspicion of entering. Quote, this situation required heightened awareness of our surroundings and who is accessing our buildings. This also reinforces the importance of ensuring all doors and windows are properly locked. Now, this is what this has written all over this. It's a TikTok, can you make
It's
your
a
way
social media driven thing.
Yeah. Go into a church and do this. And I mean, there are lots of things that qualified as a lewd act.
There are.
So my mind immediately goes to some that maybe we won't mention, but I think that like going into a church and urinating could technically be a lewd act. So maybe that's what it is. I think I always equate lewd with sexual. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. But this reminds me...
they're not very specific, but it could be along that whole range.
Yeah. Do you remember, I want to say maybe turn of the millennium, when there was it Howard Stern, or was it one of these other radio shows where, they wanted someone to go into the cathedral in New York and have sex in the pews of this famous cathedral, and they called in, and there was a big
St. Patrick's.
Yes, yeah. Let me look at this because here's the thing.
I seem to remember that and that topic, but I don't remember the details that followed.
Opie and Anthony is who the radio show was. That was a huge radio show. It was back in
syndicated at probably hundreds of stations right at the time.
Yeah. The New York-based Shock Jocks, criticized by Catholic groups for broadcasting a live account of a couple allegedly having sex in St. Patrick's Cathedral on their nationally syndicated show. That was then.
And I feel bad. We forgot to give a parent warning before this story.
Oh, sorry, everyone. They knew where this was going. But, like, stupid. It's just dumb. It's just like
it's stupid and dumb. It's done on a dare. But I feel, what as a parent, I now have to worry about this with youth going to the church on a regular weeknight activity, and they may walk into a classroom and someone or someones are doing something that you don't want them exposed to.
Right. Yeah, a couple things with all of it, right? Whenever you're at a youth activity, never go anywhere by yourself, which seems silly that we have to do that, but we need to do that. Second thing, we need to limit access to the buildings when people are in the buildings for safety's sake. The cameras, I made the joke temporarily, need to be permanent. We need to be able to monitor who is going in and going out so we can say, this is the individual who came in and did this, and we can end it. There are some things to be learned, which isn't to say that, like, it is by no means our fault or, like, any sort of thing like that, but we need to be proactive about how we can better safeguard ourselves towards anything. We just need to be, it's unfortunate, we need to be a little less trusting and a little bit more proactive to make sure that everything is safe.
Agreed. It's terrible that we have to be thinking about these things, but better to be thinking about them proactively now than doing something else.
What are you searching? You're looking at something.
Yeah, I'm looking for the next story here.
Well, we stay in Rexburg for this. Geez, what is happening?
We do.
There?
What's going on in Rexburg? A 26-year-old man has been charged after he allegedly burglarized multiple locations, taking financial cards, I'm assuming credit cards, debit cards, missionary tags, and took a vehicle belonging to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on a joyride. Elajul Berry has been charged with 4 felony counts of burglary, with each charge carrying a potential punishment of up to 10 years in prison and or a fine of up to $50,000. According to court documents, on December 4th, Berry allegedly entered and used a Toyota RAV4, the classic missionary vehicle, that was parked next to an apartment building at the 400th block of South 3rd West, which belonged to the LDS Church. The Toyota was left unlocked with the keys inside, elders, but the vehicle had a tracking device that showed Berry had been driving around Rexburg to multiple locations between midnight and 5 a.m. The car was left at the BYU Idaho Stadium parking lot. While he was visiting other places, the document states he stopped at the Sundance apartment complex, got into an unlocked Subaru. Barry allegedly took a purse with cards and passport and other items from that car. Another vehicle parked near the complex also had items stolen, which belonged to a missionary. The vehicle was a Ford F-150. Do missionaries drive Ford F-150s? That was left unlocked, and the items taken were the missionary's name tag, a green disposable camera, and $2 in change. Another vehicle, a GMC Sierra, was parked near the LDS church, was also burglarized. A fourth vehicle was affected, left unlocked again. So I'm hearing unlocked, keys in the car, wallets in the car, passport in the car. People, you live in the modern world. I don't care where you live, unless you're 100 miles from somebody else. Just, number one, don't leave the keys in the car. Number two, lock the car.
I like, though, and in my heart of hearts, I hope this happened because he stole their tags as well. I hope that he put the tag on and you know, as he was driving around, I was like, "Call me Elder."
He just wanted free lunch at the Arctic Circle. He walked in with the tags on, and somebody's going to say, "Hey, I'm covering the Elder's lunch."
I got him. Where's your companion? He's in the car. Free lunch.
I don't understand this. Unlocked, keys in the car, and your wallet in the car. Now, my wallet has been burgled out of my car once when I left it to go on a little bit of a hike, and I wasn't paying attention and forgot to lock it. And that's my fault that happened. And the police, when I called them and told them, yes, my car was unlocked, and yes, my wallet was in the center console, I didn't want to carry it with me. And they said, well, good luck.
Yeah. And they said, and yes, real dumb. Again, not blaming victims as far as this goes, but we need to be a little more realistic.
Yes.
And also this guy, you know, go to jail. Don't break into unlocked cars and steal crap. But can we lock a door?
Yeah.
I do love the idea. I love the idea that he goes and picks someone up. He didn't do this, but, you know, he breaks into this first car, finds the missionary tags, knows obviously what they are because in Rexburg, you know, and then grabs a buddy. He's like, hey, I need a companion. And then the two of them with name tags find themselves all around town. Yeah, go there. We're bringing them there.
We get free lunch. Someone will pay for our groceries. We can go anywhere.
Yeah. Here's a pass along card. Like, there's all sorts of fun, punny things that we can kind of throw in there, but unfortunately,
but at least we end on a bit of a funny note as far as the bad tragedy legal news.
Well, I'm excited for this, though, as we get into the next one. There is no one that hosts the Cultural Hall's Articles of News that loves Secret Lives of Mormon Wives more. And now to know that there is
I can literally name 3 or 4 others who do.
There's a spin-off now, more Secret Lives than ever, Verlin. Now more Secret Lives than ever. It is official. They are casting for a spin-off of Secret Lives. Now, here's the thing. Is it going to be Secret Lives of Mormon Wives with no kids? Is it going to be Secret Lives of Mormon Wives California? So we get like a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of California, got that kind of thing. The article also speculates.
Is it Secret Lives of Mormon Husbands?
Yeah, could be. Though I think that the like advertisement's not the right word, but like the casting call is asking for women.
Okay.
Although
bold, unapologetic women, it says.
Yes. So it also could be the casting director said, well, it also could be Secret Lives of Horse Trainers, because then the franchise could be just Secret Lives of, and then find the separate group.
Whatever.
So it's not necessarily going to be Mormon or Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints adjacent, although I know it is. And here's why.
I know the spinoff.
Latter-day Saints, go on.
Secret Lives of Mormon Podcasters.
Oh yeah, we could do that. You want your secret life shared with everyone?
And no one would watch.
No, it's just like It's just like when Secret Lives first came out and everyone was like, well, that's not my Mormon life
Well, actually, I'll
representative.
turn it around. Lots of people would watch because we had like 50, 60 people watching us do something at, the Taylorsville Leatherbees.
Sure. Maybe we'd have to play it up a little bit. You
We
know,
would
yeah.
create a little more drama.
Susan came over to my house, Verlin, and then we all go,
No.
"Oh, what's that about?" And then it's she came over to borrow a cup of flour or something like
Yeah,
that. But the season
exactly.
makes it look, all sorts of things like that. Yeah, I contend. I think it will be a Secret Lives of Mormon something, Mormon singles, Secret
It
Lives of
has to.
Mormon.
It's got to have Mormon in it. That's
Yeah.
driving all the,
Yes.
viewership and curiosity.
Yeah. No sort of date set as to when they'll decide what that is or start recording that.
Secret Lives of Mormon Millionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Mormon singles, Mormon artists. They wouldn't call it Mormon artists, but they could come up with a more clever title. But like if you think about all of those Mormon folks in New York, the Mormon folks in
Yeah,
Hollywood. Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So
Now you've got me excited about it, just to
what?
know what the name's going to be, just to what the theme's going to be.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to wait. No sort of announcement yet. Take
Yep.
me to the next story, my friend.
The next story is one I've never heard about this before. For years, Robert O. Young sold a seductive promise from his $2.7 million California estate, meaning he lived in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath spot in Malibu.
Yeah.
A pH miracle.
It was the additional dwelling unit back behind one of the.
Oh, that's what it was. He was a pH miracle that could cure cancer through baking soda injections and alkaline diets. But as a new investigation Discovery docuseries reveals, the reality inside the ranch was a sordid underbelly of filth, fraud, and exploitation.
Go.
Exactly. So I'd never heard of this character. To the outside world, this man, Young, was a descendant of Brigham Young, was raised in the Mormon faith, presented himself as a wellness guru, had a luxurious 40-acre healing sanctuary in Valley Center. I don't know where that is exactly. I'm assuming Los Angeles area. Marketing materials showcased a stunning compound, tennis courts, professional kitchen, avocado groves. You've seen the ads for these kind of self-help retreats. Desperate patients, many suffering from terminal illnesses, paid up to $2,000 a night,
Jeez.
believing they were checking into a pristine medical facility run by a doctor. Here's what baffles me. The truth was very different. Young had a lavish personal residence from the outsides, but the patients were actually housed in rat-infested motorhomes parked on the property. How does word of this not get out? Does he have people sign a non-disclosure before they check in?
Well, and even if people sign a non-disclosure, wouldn't you be like, I don't care that I signed a non-disclosure. There were rat droppings and I'm staying in a trailer.
Yeah, according to one of his employees, the squalor extended to his own living quarters. Despite his public image of purity and health, his private life was described as disgusting. The employee recounted cleaning up mountains of dishes and discovering a master bedroom where the toilet had not been flushed in months.
Gross.
Despite being used. Totally gross. The law finally caught up.
Although, in fairness, hang on. If it was only yellow, let it mellow.
Let it mellow.
Yeah.
It's true. If you're
If
saving
it's
water.
brown, flush it down.
Yeah. Anyways, the law caught up with the supposed doctor, who turns out had no valid license for medicine or anything else. Was a high school graduated person. He had a 2014 arrest, a massive civil judgment in 2018, where they awarded victims $105 million.
Yes.
He sold the dilapidated ranch for $2.5 million in 2023. Again, that's like a half acre, right? Leaving behind a property littered with trash and dead plants. And today, the 73-year-old is serving a 6-year prison sentence following a 2025 conviction, a new conviction for elder abuse and fraud.
Jeez.
So I guess there's a docuseries coming out, and you can hear all about this Mormon doctor and all of his antics.
In the particular space that he's in, it was a big deal. My wife knew all about this guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Was he part of the alkaline craze from a few years ago that now has resulted in alkaline water in your 7-Eleven
I would say
refrigerator.
he's probably the OG of that because this was
Really?
like turn the millennium, 2003, 4, 5 is when it started.
Mm-hmm.
Injecting baking soda is where it stopped for me, but it just goes to show you when people, because the people that are going to him are people that are so desperate for feeling better, for finding a cure, for all of those things.
Yeah.
That like when you get that desperate, you start to go, hey, maybe Verlin's glasses have a superpower in them, and then you see his last name Young, and he's going by Robert O. Young. That's not coincidental.
No,
Oh,
no.
Young. Oh, you know that there was some preying upon members of the church because of the last name. A
I'm
descendant.
sure.
You can trust a descendant.
A descendant of Brigham Young. It's not. It's not like there aren't very many.
Right, right. Yeah. He made as many as he could.
Well, progeny from 16 wives at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, I guess, is the reason for sharing that story. But really, all it was is to let everyone know. You know what? There's a new documentary coming out. It's on Investigation Discovery, and you can also stream it on HBO Max if you are one of either of those users. So check that out.
I might actually watch it.
We always do. My wife and I will watch every single one of those. Every single one. I'm going to buck the order on this, but it's okay because
What, bro?
I am doing another odd-numbered one as far as this goes.
Okay, good for
I
you.
found this story to be fascinating. Was unaware that Brigham Young had a Catholic daughter.
Me too. And she sounds fascinating and someone I would have loved to have met.
She was described as witty and rebellious. She eloped at the age of 18, causing a
Sounds a lot like
scandal.
a female in my life.
She divorced her first husband in 1876.
No, she hasn't done that. Okay.
Due to his alcoholism. She had a brief attempt to appease her parents when she was sealed to future church president Wilford Woodruff, who was then age 70 when she was age 24.
Right.
They separated a year later after their newborn child died.
Wait, so Bill Belichick and his girlfriend are not the first people to do that. Okay.
Bill Belichick, the owner of the, it's kind of a fun random thing, the owner of the Patriots, his girlfriend is a girl I went to high school with.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go. So a lot closer to his age, at least half his age.
Hey, a lot closer. Take it back, pal.
Half.
Yeah,
Half
closer,
his age.
closer his age. Not a lot
said half.
closer. A lot closer.
So back to Dora.
Following Brigham Young's death, Dora and several siblings sued the estate, challenging the will. She married Albert Hagen, the lawyer who helped her win the settlement. Consequently, the church excommunicated her and other litigious heirs in 1880. So that in and of itself is sort of fascinating. At the
That's
passing
an
of Brigham
interesting
Young,
story. Yeah.
my guess is that Brigham Young said, we're going to leave all this to the church. And, heirs to his estate went, hold on, hard pass. We'd like a little bit of that. I don't know, but I know that there's more story to this that we need to know. After being publicly rejected by the LDS Church, she left with her husband and adopted his faith, Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
Said, quote, this is speaking of her father, Brigham Young, I loved him beyond anything that words can tell. He was the most magnetic person I ever knew. She loathed plural marriage, describing the homes of plural wives as perfect hells filled with deadly hatred, and she remained a devout Catholic for the rest of her life. Her Catholic legacy continued through her descendants, including a great-grandson who became a Trappist monk at the Huntsville Monastery in Utah. So
What a link. Yeah.
if you've ever been up to that place.
Now, it seems to me, didn't you do a Cultural Hall episode with either a monk or someone who was associated with that
It
monastery?
was Father Patrick Boyle,
Yes.
and he had written a book about that. I will tell people what the episode is. It is, maybe it wasn't him. Shoot. I will find it and I will share that in the link in the show notes. It wasn't him. It was someone else that was associated with it. But yeah, all about that monastery.
I absolutely loved Dora's personality. I loved that her next younger sister tried to bring her back into the church. And although she had the Lorenzo Snow experience, she ultimately left and became Catholic. And I loved her response. Her sister evidently was fairly heavy-handed at some point,
Hmm.
and Dora's response back, I don't have it in front of me, was wonderful in terms of, yes, I love you, but let me practice the religion I want to practice, and I will let you practice yours.
Well, I'll give you the quote. I am most happy in my devout belief of the Holy Catholic Church. It is wrong for you to harp against my holy belief.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I love that.
I had no idea. You can find the links to all of these stories in the show notes. How are we doing on time? We got like 10 minutes. We're ripping through the news.
We're doing great.
Crush it. Let's go.
So this year is a huge year of service for the church. America 250 is happening with the 50th anniversary of the founding of the United States of America. And the church has jumped in both feet into the deep end with all kinds of projects and all kinds of alliances with others. Part of that is the 250 truckloads from the Bishop's Storehouse or church distribution that are going out across the country, each truck carrying 40,000 pounds of food. Related engagements with Family Search and with Just Serve, driving more and more volunteer work there. Incentive. What I thought was interesting is there's also a jointly funded incentive and sweepstakes to encourage participation.
Yeah, this was cool.
With a total of $1 million in donations on the line. So if you're one of the 250 volunteers who logs their hours, you can win up to $4,000 to be donated to the charity of your choice as you participate in this. So there's huge incentive for families to organize together to volunteer, for congregations to volunteer, for stakes to put volunteer efforts together. Just a ton of things going on. I think it's such a great way to celebrate America at 250 years old. We could have had parties, we could have had fairs and festivals, concerts, and fireworks, but I love the focus on service.
Yes, so please do it. Find ways to serve. You know, my wife and I, we recently adopted a kennel at our local animal services because we love dogs and not people.
Yeah.
And
well, I will tell you, having experienced this, everyone that's listening, that there is nothing more precious to Richie than Robert.
Yep.
And Robert is not a human being. Robert is canine.
Yes, he's the best. He is the literal best. So we adopted a kennel over at the animal services, and we're going to. You'll see this if you follow me personally on social media. Whenever there's a new dog in the kennel that we are sponsoring, it's going to be like, meet Verlin. Verlin's a 2-year-old pit bull.
Oh, you're going to post it. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We are going to drive adoptions for that kennel. People need to come meet Verlin. He may be old, but he's got a lot of love left to give, everyone. Come out and see Verlin at the animal services. I'll do this one because it's a quick story. The church would like you to follow the YouTube channels of the apostles. That's it. We made that story.
I followed it.
Yep. We made that story last year. We shared it. They shared it again like it was the first time. And I think it's because y'all aren't following the prophet in literal social media form. Follow the prophet. Subscribe.
After you follow us, after you follow the Cultural Hall and subscribe, then go follow them on YouTube.
So close to having 1,000 followers, subs as they call it on YouTube. So if you have not,
we need to get that. Yesterday, I watched. How many did you post in the last week that went up to YouTube? From Patreon Saints.
Yeah.
But I watched the video from the Patreon Saints posts for 5 episodes, I think, yesterday while I was doing my work.
Yep.
It's fun to watch the video as well.
Yeah.
Although we maybe need to do a few more video antics. We have to do a few more video friendly things.
You want puppets? Is that what you're after? I could get a puppet. I'll do a puppet show.
I wasn't thinking puppets, but if you want to do puppets, that's fine.
I'll do a puppet.
Yeah.
So subscribe and follow to the Cultural Hall, and also find and follow the prophet, literally, on social media.
So another interesting story here, and you tell me whether this is a big deal. Evidently, the church has just leased property from UVU, Utah Valley University, and Utah Valley University, for those that don't know, is kind of at the edge of Provo and Orem. They've got the school owns more than 225 acres in the area, including a large swath of land, evidently in what's the name?
Vineyard.
The Vineyard. If you've been to the Vineyard, you know the Vineyard. The Vineyard now has more than 14,000 people living in it, up from 110 people total in 2010, so 15 years ago. And the church has leased a piece of property there. That's the news.
It's not a big deal, but it's very rare that the church, that a church would lease property from a educational
public
organization,
university.
public university. That's, I think, the story.
Well, I know it's gone back and forth. I mean, we lease property at lots of educational institutions for institute buildings and seminary buildings.
Sure.
That happens. There have been some other leases back and forth between the church and other organizations at times. But I thought it was interesting that this one, caught so much news, that the church is leasing this property. It's a 50-year lease, which essentially means forever.
Yeah.
When you think in leasing terms, and the UVU president said they're not in the business of selling land, but it sounds like they're in the business of leasing land for a pretty fair price. I think it was $20 a square foot or something like that.
Well, and also interesting to note, just as a quick aside, Astrid Jimenez, who is the president of UVU, she resigned. Now, UVU is where Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Right, and it's where Elder Matt Holland was the president of the university previously.
Yep. But yesterday or the day before, Astrid Jimenez said, "You know what? I'm resigning." And I think so. I want to say that either her husband passed or has had some health issues, and then you have everything with Charlie Kirk. And I think at some point you just go, "I need my life to be different."
Yeah.
Give someone else.
Don't fault her for making that choice.
Oh no!
But I always admire people who battle through things like that and come out the other side as well.
For sure. I would to tell you this, that the keynotes for Roots Tech have been announced. I'll rattle them off very quickly. Those keynotes are Steve Young, Tara Roberts, who is a National Geographic ocean explorer, Marley Matlin, the winning actor and deaf rights advocate, the Gardner brothers, the Irish Dance World champions and TikTok superstars, Jose Hernandez, a scientist, engineer, and NASA astronaut, Jessica Soho, who is an award-winning journalist and host of the popular news program in the Philippines, and Zico, a legendary player, coach, and World Cup hero from Brazil. That is your 2026 Roots Tech keynote speakers. Look forward to that.
Which one of those would you be most excited to hear from?
I think I could get attached to any of them, if I'm being honest. Probably if I could sit front row and maybe get a little whiff, Steve Young. Maybe I'd get a little.
Okay.
I bet he smells great.
I'll bet he does. You can invite him to be on the Cultural Hall.
Yes, because he hasn't been yet, but that would be probably who I would probably.
I'm thinking I might go with, is it what was the Mary Matlin, the actress,
Marley
deaf advocate?
Matlin, yep.
Marley
Yeah.
Matlin.
Yeah.
I love some of the things she's done. Our family are huge fans of a series called The West Wing. And she did, in one season, she did a lot of guest appearances in The West Wing, and her character was really good. Snarky, clever, like all of the other characters in The West Wing. But with her particular disability, it came off even better.
This just sort of coming out in news. I was just checking this out real quick. The Salt Lake Tribune talks about how Mr. and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints going to continue to work together in philanthropic ways.
For those that can't see, I'm rubbing my head as you talk about
Why do you hate the Mr. Beast? Did you get
Well, you just go on and do the article, and then I'll tell you what my concerns are.
No, that's it. That's all I've got.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
So here's my concern. Mr. Beast, well-known social media YouTube rock star, raises tons of money and gives a lot of it away.
Yes.
And does some great things with his money. I don't have any issue with that at all. I think it's wonderful.
Why do you hate people with money, Verlin?
I don't hate people with money at all.
I'm kidding.
The church has decided that they're going to affiliate with him and leverage that social media presence. And I get that. I think that's wonderful too. Let's figure out how we can leverage each other and get more service and more good done in the world through him. My concern is the church is actually giving his organization both money and merchandise in terms of Bishop Storehouse food from Welfare Square, when he is raising so much money that he can't give away what he already has. And the church is donating further to his organization, where I think it should be an equal partnership, not that one is giving one merchandise and money in return for some kind of benefit. I think the two should be working shoulder to shoulder together.
Okay.
And I'm always very concerned when we contribute not to an organization, but we're tying ourselves to an individual, and all of the mess that can come with either an individual's past or future behavior.
Sure.
That can be problematic, particularly with this much publicity.
Okay.
So that's what I have against MrBeast.
Yeah, because if it all goes well, that's great. If there's no
Wonderful.
sort of anything like that, but maybe we're putting ourselves in a space of too many things that could go wrong, or one bad move, one liability, one poor choice, one keep your hand.
Well, there's a little bit of smoke out there already, and I don't want to talk about allegations, but there's been some public reports in the press about some things that seem a little shady. I'm not going to, everyone's innocent until proven guilty, but the allegations in a couple of cases are a little troubling.
Okay. All right. MrBeast hater, Verlin, the news wizard. Let's just mention this real quick, and then we can wrap this thing up. We have exceeded our time. Dean Jesse, who is a seminal figure in the historiography of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, passed away same day as President Holland.
Oh, interesting. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Or no, that was the same day as his funeral. Sorry about that. December 31st, 2025.
That's right.
Colleagues and historians view Jesse as an intellectual head and visionary behind the massive Joseph Smith Papers project. So pretty significant to note that Jesse's early volumes and a draft of a third volume served as the catalyst for the church to approve the comprehensive 27-volume project. So it was some work that he did early on. He's from Springville. He began organizing manuscripts in the, quote, cage under church historian Joseph Fielding Smith. Then he produces the first scholarly articles on Joseph Smith's history for BYU Studies. That's in the late 60s. In the early 70s, he, inspired by the papers of Thomas Jefferson, Jesse conceives the idea of a multi-volume collection for Joseph Smith. In 84, he writes the personal writings of Joseph Smith, and it's published. And in 2001, the project is officially kicked off. He died at the age of 96 years old, survived by 8 children, 40 grandchildren, and numerous great-grandchildren. We would not have, likely, the church's Joseph Smith Papers project without Dean Jesse. So,
I think you're absolutely right. It's not we might not. I don't think we would have it without what he did.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting to read through the timeline and some of the pushback he got. He wanted to put these volumes together, and he went and asked church leadership. And at one point, it says that I guess he was impressed by the papers of Thomas Jefferson, and went and asked church leadership if he could publish it. And at that point in time, the church historian, who was Leonard Arrington, advised him not to do so at that time, not to do so then. Knowing a little bit about Leonard Arrington, I think what he was doing was being wise and understanding when the church at large would be ready for this kind of an effort,
sure,
or not. But wow, what a legacy he leaves behind with the Joseph Smith Papers and everything that is now flowing from that project.
Yeah. If anyone wants a late Christmas gift or an early Christmas gift, all of the volumes of the Joseph Smith Papers project, you can just send them my way. I'll send you the address, contact@theculturalhall.com. I will not say no to that sweet gift. And also, I will not be heartbroken when I understand that no one is going to do that because it's so expensive.
It's better than the Jam of the Month Club, that's for sure.
Oh, I don't know. There's some good well, okay. I'll allow it. Verlin, I hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body.
That if you weren't healthy enough to listen this week, you'll be healthy enough to listen next week.
And that when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. In the meantime,
Go Tar Heels.
There it is. I was going to say this is the lowest hanging fruit you could possibly have. I'll do the majority of the rest of these. Chris at
No,
Alpine
I can
Lakes
do
Travel.
them. I
Okay.
can do them with you. Come
Chris
on.
at Alpine Lakes Travel.
The Tiger with a U.
Debbie Wanless.
Chocolate Cake Bites Podcast.
And Latter Day 3D Studio. We will be saving a seat for you
On the back row
of
the Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat on the back row. We really gotta go on the Culture Hall show.